Hey y'all, and welcome to Culture Cult, where we are one podcast with 197 countries to explore travel, stories, and history from. I'm your host, Marie, and this episode we're diving into a country. So each season we feature different countries to highlight, whether it be randomly spinning on the globe, fan choice, or featuring a local from a certain country and hearing their perspective. You can have a say in the next country featured by following our Instagram at culturecultshow. Also, remember to comment, rate, and subscribe to the show on whatever platform you're listening on. Cheers and enjoy! Hey y'all, welcome back to Culture Cult. Today we are diving into a new country and it's a beautiful one. It's Romania. We're going to be talking about Romania's misunderstood population, the Romani people. We're going to talk about modern day witches and one of the most haunted forests in the world. And joining me today is one of my cousins. She was on the last season for the Ain't That a Kick in the Shins travel story. It's Emma Collins.
Woo!
Okay, guys, let me just be transparent. This was embarrassing because we got like 3 minutes in and Emma was, pouring her heart out a bit. And I was like, yo, it's not being recorded.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't want to have to do the hellos again.
Fair. No, and we hate the hellos. So, this is the worst part. Guys, I apologize. This is going to get more interesting in the future, but I have no idea how to start these things.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Like, there's no cool way to introduce yourself. Like, hi.
I did ask you the first time, what are 3 random things going on with you right now in your life?
Yeah. Okay. So I said that I have become a plant lord, but only in this like one specific plant. So I have a calathea, which is like apparently a really hard plant to take care of. And mine is like overjoyed in life. Like it has 3 new leaves every week. And everyone says that every time they buy this plant, it just dies immediately. And mine's just so fucking happy. And I have no idea why. And then I submitted my dissertation, which was on Spanish horror films. Yeah. So I was like 6,000 words and I completely lost my soul into it. And I don't know what it is. I'm too scared to go back and look at it to see if it's actually good.
What horror film do you suggest?
Okay, so I talk about like 4 in particular. So one is called Gritos en la Noche, which is like the first official horror movie in Spain. And it's just like weird. And the second one that I talk about El Orfanato, like the orphanage. It's kind of popular. It's like a ghost movie. Ooh. I talk about La Piel de que Habito, which is a Pedro Almodovar film. If anyone's into Almodovar, he's like a really, really famous Spanish director. And that is probably the most fucked up one. If you like, there's a lot of trigger warnings and it just like made my skin crawl. It's graphic and it's just the whole premise is really fucked up. Like the actual events that take place is really fucked up.
Is it like an A24 film where you feel really weird after?
Yes. Yeah. It's like that. I felt gross after watching it. And then I talked about in English, it's The Platform. It went viral.
Oh, I hate that. I hate it. That's not for me.
Yeah.
Like that's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah. It was fun to watch them. It scarred me a bit, but yeah. And then my last thing, I just wanted to make a big announcement that Club Penguin Rewritten got shut down. If you were on that as much as I was as an adult, like I hate to break the news. It's gone. 3 people got arrested for remaking the original Club Penguin. And it broke me.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first. Yeah, it fucked me up. Justice for the guys who did it, honestly.
Oh my God. I've never played Club Penguin. Now I'm jealous. Now I want to play it. Now I can't.
That was my life. Like I didn't care that I was a fat penguin on there. I felt beautiful. Like I put like on a stupid fucking wig and I pranced into the pizza parlor and I was like, who wants to date me? And I would date like 4 different penguins. It was crazy.
You're a penguin hoe. Okay. She's a different girl in that world.
Yeah, different. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. But we are not talking about Club Penguin today. We are talking about Romania, and I have 2 episodes on Romania. This one is the introductory episode and definitely more ghost witchy. And the second episode is with your mom. And it's about her time when she stayed over there in the 90s, post-communism era. It's super interesting. And we're talking about a story about a really brave woman who like broke the records in aviation. So that's definitely more like intellectual. And this is definitely
that's not what I'm here for. I'm not an intellectual.
No. But okay, so off the top of your head, what do you know about Romania?
I mean, I know about, Dracula. I know what my mom's told me about living there. Like she told me that the streets were full of rabid dogs. And so I think Romania and I think of rabid dogs.
So scary.
I met this guy from Romania here, who I thought was the love of my life, and then I never found him again. So I always think of him.
Oh my
Wonder
God. If you're hearing this,
if you're listening, do you remember me? No. What else? I think that's really it. Yeah, just shit my mom tells me. And then big culture things that everyone knows, like Dracula.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna start off by I really didn't know anything about Romania. I guess the Dracula thing, but so I have some super cool facts I'm gonna read out. So the first thing is, where does that word Romania come from? I really like the word. So I'm like, where does it come from? It comes from the Roman word Romanus, and they used to be known as, I feel like I'm gonna say this wrong. It's the Dacian Empire. And their language is super, super old. It's 1700 years old. And it actually is more similar to French and Italian. It's a Romance language.
Oh, yeah. I knew this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it'd be more like Russian because of the location. It's not even that close to Russia, but it's a Romance language. And then you mentioned Dracula. So a huge thing about Romania is that it really has nothing to do with Dracula.
Fuck.
No, he's not real.
Log off. I don't want to be in this episode anymore.
No, he's not real, y'all. Sorry.
Fuck.
He was actually written by an Irish writer named Bram Stoker, and he was inspired by a real, actual monster who's way, way worse than Dracula. It was inspired by the castle that this man lived in. His name is Vlad Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
Vlad the Impaler.
Oh, yeah. He would kill everyone.
Honestly, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a story on him. And then I was like, sorry, I literally was throwing up. This guy was disgustingly miserable and horrible. His name's Vlad the Impaler for a reason. Also, y'all voted on the survey for season 1 that y'all didn't like the violent stuff. So that's the worst thing I could do is tell you the story of him.
Like, we hate violence. Like, let's talk about Vlad.
Honestly, it was so not. I tried to even listen to other podcasts and I was like, I can't do it. So Dracula's not real. Unfortunately, Vlad the Impaler was real. So okay, this is a really weird fact. The next fact is weird. Romania has the second largest administrative building behind the Pentagon. It's also the heaviest building in the world.
What?
I know, right? I'm like, how do you weigh a building?
Yeah. What is it? What's it made of?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, but it's called the Palace Parliament. It was made by, I think, the last communist dictator, and it weighs 9.04 billion pounds.
What?
Billion. To be honest, I don't even understand what even a billion is. So
me either.
I'm like, what is that context to? Like the moon? Like how much does it weigh? Oh my
God. But what? Oh my God, I want to look it up. I'm going to look up a picture of it. This is ridiculous.
It's huge. And it's really weird. So if you go there, it's not like Versailles where there's a line out the door to go see. It's pretty empty. And Robin was saying in the second episode how people in Romania hated the building. He just took down a whole bunch of the city to build this, and no one likes it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't either. So it's like,
so ugly.
If you want to see the heaviest building in the world, go to Romania. I guess.
Huge landmark.
Okay, the fourth fact, I don't know what count we're on. The next one, Top Gear claims Romania has the best driving road in the world. So if you're a car freak or adrenaline junkie, you have to go to Romania and drive the Transfăgăreasan road. It cuts through the Făgăraș mountain range, and it looks so cool if you look it up. If you're a driver and you like, Fast and Furious, Romania, go rent yourself a car, a motorcycle, and drive this road. You can watch it on Top Gear. Okay, the last fact is my favorite. Okay, when you're married in Romania, you get kidnapped as a bride during your ceremony.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
And why? The groomsmen abduct you and take you to a secret location. And then the husband has to barter whiskey or candy to get you back.
What?
And so you can watch videos of this on YouTube. Some are like really cute and they're just walking her away and they're like, ha ha ha. But I saw this one where they pick her up, put her on this guy's back and they put a bag over her head and they threw her in the back of a car.
Dude, imagine you do all your makeup and then these stupid men like shove a fucking like bag over your head. You're like, no, my lashes. And then they don't give a shit.
Also, like, what if you didn't know about this tradition? Like, how horrifying. So your husband has to go find you and barter.
A treasure hunt. That is so objective. What's it, objectifying?
I don't know. Yeah. Also, like,
you can't just kidnap me away from my wedding.
But what if they can't pick you up? That's what
And they have to put you in a cart. Like, can you get in?
That's my fear. Is they're like, oh God. And I'm like, pick me up. You can do it.
They're like, you know what? I don't think we should do this tonight.
No. That's my subconscious fear. I'm like,
Same.
oh my God. I'm going to get married in Romania. You could get kidnapped, which is if that's your thing. But it's mainly done in the Romani community. They're also known as the Gypsy community, but they don't like to be called that because that's derogatory. So let's dive into the Romani community. So according to BBC, more than 70% of Europe's Roma. So the phrase is Roma or Romani. So I'm going to be interchanging between the two. So more than 70% of the Roma people live in poverty, often marginalized and victims of discrimination. And Romania's Roma population consists of 2.5 million people out of the population of 19 million. So they're the biggest ethnic minority in Romania. And at least 90% of them live on or below the poverty line. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 90% of their population. And that's according to the BorgenProject.org, which is, if you ever want to learn more about them and how to help, BorgenProject.org is really good for that. But they're pretty impoverished. It's a story told over and over with them. Again, they don't like to be called gypsies. They like to be called the Roma people, but they're all over Europe. So I wonder if you've seen them in Scotland because you live there.
I don't know. Maybe. Like, I don't think I would know.
Yeah. They're usually musicians and they're nomadic. So,
oh yeah, I think, we probably have a couple then.
Yeah.
We have a lot of street people.
So where they come from? So the Roma people came from India around 1000 AD. And the legend is they were brought to Persia from the request of the Persian king to India's king saying, quote, "The poor here drink wine without listening to music, a situation which the wealthiest cannot agree. Therefore, choose and send me 10,000 men and women who play the lute." This is a Persian quote from a national epic poem called the King's Book. So they were requested for their music. So the Roma went to Persia, and then when they got there, they did their thing, and then the Persian king was like, "Oh, y'all are gonna eat?" He's like,
"You want to live?
You want to live and drink my water?"
No.
He's like, "Y'all gotta get going!" Like, and so he banished them.
No.
Can you imagine? Like,
I'd be so pissed.
You travel all these ways and you're like, wow, like we were just hired to come out here. And then he was like, yeah, y'all gotta go. So they were like,
you're like working on your lute performance for like months.
I know. He was like, that was nice, cute. Okay, you can go now. Like, they were like, where do we go? We've traveled here.
Such bullshit.
People.
Yo, old kings, they just suck so bad, like all the time. They make no sense.
They're the worst. They're the worst. So like now you have these displaced people, and I guess they were like, well, let's keep going. Like, so this is a paraphrase legend. This is a legend, and I hope it's true because it's kind of a cool story. But so at first they were welcomed by all these other European countries, but then around the Middle Ages, which is like the worst time in human history to be alive, the hatred around the 16th century for them began. They're looked down upon society because they didn't have wealth or quote stability. They're persecuted for centuries. They have been victims to genocide. And even today, they're denied of housing and jobs. They're victims to prejudice, mainly because they live an unconventional lifestyle. And the more prejudice, the more hate, it's harder to get out of that impoverished situation. But they're really known on the traditions. So they have old trades such as craftsmanship and coppersmith and music. And they're mainly nomadic, which is pretty cool.
That's so cool. Are they still nomadic?
Yeah, a lot of them are settled, and that's why people don't want them there because they're trying to settle and restart their lives. But no one wants them there, so they don't give them housing or jobs or love or any respect.
Give them stuff.
You know, like, so they just, some are nomadic, but some, so one thing, in a town in Romania, there's one town, like a whole street of these super nice houses, and they look really big and opulent. And some are actually really, really wealthy, but a lot of them just have the house as a facade, and they all live in one room because they can't afford the heat. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. A lot of the Romani, I might be seeking out a term, but it seems like a lot of them wear these like big jewelry and have these big houses to look rich because they don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have an unconventional lifestyle, but they have contributed so much to European and like actually a lot of societies because of their music. The Roma people are not just in Romania, as I said. Their music alone can be traced to the Byzantine, the Greeks, the Arabic music, Indian, Persian, Turkish, Slavic, Romanian, German, Dutch. It keeps going. French jazz. And lastly, my favorite, Spanish flamenco music comes from them.
They literally invented music.
I know. And then we shit on them.
Yeah. We're like, go back.
Go back to where?
God, that's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like every music ever.
Everything. Anything you hear, you could link it back to them. They are our musicians. And it's so funny that we pride wealth and things over, I mean, like where would we be without music and art? Like miserable people. Miserable. There'd be more war, honestly, probably.
No, true.
Yeah. And I just
think of Imagine by John Lennon.
Ew. God. Thank you.
The Song of Peace.
Of Peace. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm all about arts and music because I think music brings happiness to everyone, while wealth usually just brings happiness to like one person.
True.
Like, yeah. So speech just had to, give some truth, but I think they're really awesome. I would love to get to know more about the Romani people, but they're definitely judged. Robin talks about in the second episode just how the mistreatment of them, how she would hear people talking to them. It's really sad. So maybe in Romania it's a bit better these days, but they have this really cool part of their community that a lot of them are witches. I know. So
yes,
I know. So what's your idea of a witch?
I feel like I have two ideas of witch. I have like witch as in a medieval kind of way, things that you see in movies and stuff. It's like, oh, it's the witch. And, she has like a cauldron and she makes potions and shit like that. And she's casting spells on little children, like hocus pocus, like hocus pocus witches. And then I have like, I don't know, more, what's it called? Pagan. Like, I want to say it's more modern, people who still do little spells and stuff like that. And like tarot cards and,
So I totally think this stuff is real because there was this girl I knew and she did voodoo and she definitely had weird energy. And one time she was texting and she was holding her phone and I shit you not, her phone flew out of her hand and hit her in the face. And I was like, and she was like, yeah, that happens a lot. And I was like,
it's time to go.
No, get that energy out. So, but essentially these witches have been like, I think used as an excuse to kill and persecute women. In a lot of ways, but in Romania, witches have the power, which is pretty cool. They have the power.
Yeah. What is like a Romanian witch?
Yeah. So first of all, they have beautiful outfits. They have gorgeous traditional outfits and they're pretty powerful. So they are hired for love spells to attract money and to curse their enemies. It's not like there's a good witch and a bad witch. It's just that they will do both. So it depends on if you're a good or bad person, Think about that. The recipes for these spells are not written in a book or anything. It's just passed down verbally through generations, which is
that's really cool.
Really stays within the community. Yeah. So, but believing in superstition doesn't just stay within the Roma community. Past presidents of Romania have been superstitious. They wore certain colors to ward off evil. The communist dictator Nicolae Ceausescu had his own witch.
What?
I know. Like, I guess
personal witch.
So a lot of witches in Romania hold a lot of power. So this is pretty interesting. So 2 witches are actually in prison for using their power for no good. They were blackmailing celebrity TV stars and athletes and raising the prices on them because they knew they had money, and they were threatening to curse them if they didn't pay up. So I know.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's so scary.
Imagine if that was happening in America. Imagine some girl like cursed her boyfriend and they arrested her.
Or they're blackmailing Beyonce. These celebrities have buku money. Like,
no, that's so facts.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. So they got arrested for blackmailing. One TV star handed over 450,000 euros in cash, but they're in jail now. But not all these witches are like that. Just they could use that power for bad. And then at the same time, for years, the government has been really scared of them. They haven't wanted to tax them because they're scared of the curses. And they officially, as of 2011, they're being taxed now, though.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the government stood up. Like, we're like scared.
They're like, someone has to take the curse.
Yeah. And a lot of the witches had like bad reactions. They were cursing everyone, doing stuff in the rivers. But some of them like it, though, because they feel like it makes their business more official. So it kind of goes both ways. But then a lot of people think that it's another way to keep the Roma people impoverished by adding a tax to one of their trades. I'm not sure.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like a fortune teller or a witch?
Oh, no. I'm too scared. I genuinely can't stand knowing. Like, I don't think I could do it. We have this cafe near us and they have a tarot reader and I'm genuinely too scared to go.
Yeah, I definitely have seen a fortune teller before because I'm a loser. But yeah, that's like, I wanted to cover the Romani people and the witches, but I wanted to end on this episode on something sinister, which is the haunted forest.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
I know.
Ghosties.
Ghosties. It's called the Hoia Baciu forest. I'm so sorry. I Google translated all this.
I'm so sorry.
And Google Translate said Hoia Baciu. So
what does it mean?
Oh, so that's what the forest is called.
Oh, it doesn't translate to anything?
Well, it kind of does. The Hoia Baciu forest is known as the Bermuda Triangle in Romania.
What?
And for good reason. To be honest, I think all forests are creepy and scary.
I love forests.
At night? You like it at night?
I find solace in them. I find that there's a lot of earth energy in them. When I'm in a forest, I feel like Mother Earth talking to me kind of thing. Like,
oh my God. I think it's so scary at night. I don't know what it is.
I feel more protected, honestly.
That's good though. I need to get those vibes. So this forest is kind of weird. It's actually in the Transylvania region, which is like Dracula. Everyone loves that. Yeah. So if you are in Transylvania, you can visit this forest. It's near the town of, oh, here we go. Google translated this. Cluj-Napoca. Oh no, it's Cluj-Napoca. There we go. Cluj-Napoca, which is a prized old medieval town, but it has new age residents. This town's actually known as Texlovania, which is very hip, but it's right next to this forest, the haunted forest. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have a good nightlife, but you also want to go see a haunted forest, like go to Cluj-Napoca.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. But this forest is it's visually weird looking. So the trees are weirdly bent. They immediately like curve and they grow.
That's wrong.
I know. And they grow and twist counterclockwise. Yeah, the trees are really weird.
Someone cursed this forest a long time ago. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, so it's
what the fuck?
Do you want to spell it?
I just looked up Romania haunted forest.
There you go.
What is this shit?
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like a fucked up question mark.
Yeah, it's visually kind of creepy, but people have gone missing in this forest. So the forest. Oh, here. So that forest got its name from when a shepherd went into the forest with 200 sheep and he and the sheep never returned.
No.
Like all
How do you just lose 100 sheep?
200.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
I know. And it's not that big of a forest. So I'm really not sure where they went. What if he was just like trying to leave town? He was like, I'm moving. And everyone's like, he never came back.
Like it was a forest. You see them trees?
He's like, I was like, I want a different life.
He couldn't leave the sheep though.
I know. So 200 sheep went missing. And then a lot of nearby farmers vowed to never enter the forest again. Another story of someone who went missing is this little girl. This one is, okay. This little girl went in. Everyone thought she died. She reappeared 5 years later, the same age.
No. Wait, when was that?
So I don't know. So both these stories are not written down. So they could just be legends.
Okay.
Like, so that's the thing. But like, I don't know.
That's
like,
fucking creepy.
She came back out the same age. And she doesn't know what happened. That's what's even freakier. Like she was in a black hole or something.
Does she think that like this for her, no time had passed for her either?
Yeah. She's just like, I'm gonna go on a hike. And then she comes out and she's like, woo, that was fun. Everyone's like, oh my God.
No.
It's you.
It's just like, yeah, I was taking a fucking nap. Like, what the hell?
And everyone's like, we thought you were dead.
What?
I mean, you're like
still so creepy.
Yeah. And you're still like age 11 or 8, however old she was. And all your friends have gotten older. Your parents have gotten older.
Dude, what?
I know. So that story really, really freaks me out. So she went missing. There's a lot of paranormal activity. So there was a massacre of peasants back in the day. Like Romania's like middle-age history is disgusting and horrible. And it led to a lot of strange energy in the forest. And so I feel like that is probably why there's a lot of bad energy there. But there's been legitimate alien sightings here. The only like real proof we have from this forest is this picture. It's from 1968 when military technician Emil Barnia and his friends from the forest, they spotted a silver disc in the sky and they took pictures and it ran in all the newspapers. So that's the only legit thing we have from this forest. What's this picture? I mean, like, have you? See it. Yeah, I'm going to post a picture of it on Instagram. Do you believe in UFOs? Have you ever seen one?
No. And that's the thing is like, I think I'm one of those people who like, I know that if the universe is infinite, I know that there's shit out there. But the thing is like, if they're on Earth, I don't want to know. Like, I would like to remain blissfully ignorant about whether or not they're chilling among us. Like,
oh, you don't want to meet them? Oh,
no,
crazy.
I don't want to meet them. Like, because I can't stand the idea of you know how the thing with COVID, I remember hearing about the sickness that was going around and everyone was like, oh my God, it's the coronavirus. And I was like, guys, it's going to blow over. Like, come on. And then it just completely, like, the way we live now is so different. Imagine if that happened, but with aliens. And we all had to adapt to aliens being on Earth and all our governments would have to, you know, do all this shit. It would just be a mess. And then I'd be like, I don't know. I just want to live my life.
I think we would unite more. Like if we had a whole nother species, I think we like naturally would have to unite as humans.
But what if they're trying to kill us?
I mean, yes, we have to unite. Let's fight.
Oh, true. I don't want to fight. I just want to fucking chill and eat like chocolate. Like,
we don't know. Like they could be chill.
They're like, I'm literally here to try Krispy Kreme donuts. Like,
we're like, put your arms up. They're like, no. We heard you have very good desserts here.
We just want to try.
Lies. Yeah, if anything, they should be scared of us. Like, please don't. I'm gonna give a warning out to all the aliens. Don't come here.
Let's go.
We gonna shoot y'all down.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember if you remember this, but do you remember when I posted a video on Facebook of when I saw the aliens in the sky?
No.
Okay. In like 11th grade. I know. I shit you not. So 11th grade, I came home from dance. It was dark outside. I was on the patio and I look out and I see this triangle shaped thing in the sky with like different lights on it, and they were flashing like blue, green, red, blue, green, red, and it was moving like crazy, like zoop, 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 zoop. It wasn't
what the fuck.
It wasn't staying still at all, but sometimes it would pause for a really long time and then zoom across the sky. It wasn't a satellite. It absolutely wasn't a plane, and it was doing it for hours. So I got my little phone out, and I was like videoing it, and I was like screaming. The video is so embarrassing. So I'm screaming at my mom for 3 minutes straight. I'm like, Mom, get out here. And she's like, she comes out here. She comes out and you can hear her in the background. She goes, oh, that's crazy. And then goes back inside. And that made me so mad. Your mom. So mad. So then I was screaming at her while continuing bidding. I was like, how can you not care? She didn't care. So that's why I'm horrified that this video is on Facebook somewhere. I don't think I have a Facebook anymore, thank God. But I was just screaming the whole time. It's very embarrassing.
I want to find it.
Please don't.
It's evidence.
It's evidence. So I did see a UFO. Oh my God. But yeah, back to the story. Like apparently UFOs are spotted in this forest, and there's no evidence on the shepherd and of that girl that went in at the forest and came out the same age. But people say that if you go and visit, you'll get incredibly sick in there. Sometimes it come out with scratches. People hear laughing behind the trees. Would you go spend the night there?
I don't know, because it's an energy thing. Like I think most forests, I want to say, are like very peaceful, earthly places. I think this earlier. I feel like they're protective spaces, but I think that doesn't mean that it can't be like a place for evil. I don't know.
A lot of people have been murdered there before. That's why it might have bad energy.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't think I'd want to go in. No. I think if you get bad vibes, like if you start throwing up and shit, like yeah, I wouldn't enter. Yeah, I don't know.
I want to check it out. I need to see the vibes. I want to go feel out the vibes and see if it's actually haunted. So like if anyone lives near the town of Cluj-Napoca, I'm so sorry.
they're like, I don't live there. Not there.
Not there. If you live in Czechoslovakia, that's what it's called. If you live near Czechoslovakia and you live near this forest, or if you've been to this forest, like please let me know. I want to hear if it's actually haunted, or if you're like, nah, they tripping.
Yeah, I want to know.
I want to know too. I want to just go to Romania in general and find out. Like, what's the creepiest place you've been to though? Where
Me. You're like, honestly, I'm so weird. I really try to stay away from places that like freak me out. I don't know. Edinburgh has some like I would say our graveyard is like pretty creepy. Like I'll go there at night because it's so easy. Because the thing is, the street where all the clubs are, it's called Cowgate. It's like the street. It just has like 10 clubs on it. Cowgate. It's so ugly. But if you want to take a shortcut to get to Cowgate, you go through the graveyard. I would say it's pretty creepy just because Scotland's so old and stuff.
Oh God. That's my favorite thing in Scotland was your graveyards.
Yeah.
Like, that was my absolute favorite thing. You know what's funny when you said that? So there's this graveyard. It's really, really famous. It's called Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It's a very famous cemetery. Okay. It's hilarious because these poor dead people are just trying to get some rest, and they have a massive concert venue right on top of it.
No, that's annoying as fuck.
And they hear every single concert. Their graves are like boom, boom,
bro.
boom.
Imagine they like hate like modern music as well. They're like, "Where's the saxophone?
Where's the violin?" It's just like K-pop music. It's just so funny that it's such a like cemeteries are supposed to be respectful, and yet they have movie nights there every week. And like,
what the hell?
And like, I love it. It's the coolest concert venue. But
I don't know. But then at the same time, if you really think about it, I think at the end of the day, everything's a graveyard.
Literally, yeah.
If you go back far enough,
yeah. I don't know. I love graveyards. Those are my favorite things. But yeah, I mean, that was like pretty much our stories for the day. You got witches, we got the Romani people, the haunted forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go over the sources that I had. So regarding the fun facts, we have BBC, again, the Borgen Project, RomaniaTourism.net, and BeyondDracula.com, which is actually such a cool website if you want to like get into
Beyond.
Like, I know they're like so bitter. They're so pissed. But BeyondDracula.com, it's a great way to see all the different regions in Romania and get to hear personal stories from Romanians. And I think that's what they're saying. It's like, we're not just Transylvania. Each region has its own special thing about it. It's a really beautiful website. So then sources with the Roma people and the witches, the Guardian, the Smithsonian, again, BorgenProject.com, Haranet.info, and LuxTimes.lu. Lastly, regarding the Hoia Baciu, forest, JWayTravel.com, MysteriousTrip.com, and TourinRomania.com. Okay, those are our sources. Woo. What's your favorite thing you learned today?
Yeah, I love ghost stories. Like they scare the shit out of me, but it's just so entertaining. And also I really like learning about Romani people. And I didn't know witches were taken so seriously there, which is very crazy to me. Yeah.
They make good money.
That's money. Just wild. Because I don't know, people don't take spirituality that seriously unless it's like Christianity in most countries.
Yeah.
So I find it so interesting that they like can take it really seriously. And it's like a very cultural thing.
Yeah. I mean, the dictator literally had his own witch.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personal witch.
I forgot to mention they mix their, I guess like the paganism with Christianity. So if you watch there's like crosses everywhere and they do like sign of the cross and they have baptisms, stuff like that.
Oh, weird.
So they mix it. Like also happens with a lot of cultures that mix. They usually adapt and they take both religions and they put it together. My favorite things I love learning was the bride kidnappings. I thought that was so awesome.
Oh yeah, fuck, I love that too.
Oh my God. I know. And then one last thing, if you ever just want to de-stress, go on YouTube, type in like Romanian countryside lifestyle. And I know. I watched 8 hour and a half video of peaceful, simple times in the Romanian countryside. There's no music. It's just like pure ASMR.
No, I love that shit.
And it's not even like a pretentious video. It's genuinely someone who just went to Romania and just videoed people there. And it's just people moving hay from one to the other. Like,
no, dude, this is the thing, because there's a region close to Turkey, but it's not Turkish. And it's just this old couple. And there's one video of them making pizza in like this middle of a forest. And it's like perfect snow and they have dogs running around. It's just them like,
oh my God.
So cute. So
I
cute.
want that video.
I'll find it.
And I'll definitely post the Romanian lifestyle countryside. But before we wrap this all up, I do have some business corner to attend to. So please leave a quick rating or review if you have some time on whatever platform you're listening on. It takes 2 seconds, but it really means the world to me. And it really helps get the show recognized on Apple, Spotify. It helps it come to the top so other people can find it. Also, if you're a passionate fan and you want more from the show, we now have a cult membership. So for $5 a month, you get episodes early, along with secret episodes just sent to you. Usually are more rated R.
Provocative.
Yeah. Secret episodes are the secret episodes that we sent to you. And also, new thing happening just starting this season. At the end of the episodes, you'll get an extra fun 15 minutes with me and the guest, because on the last poll on the survey, y'all said y'all wanted to get to know the guest more. So that's that opportunity to do is at the end of the episode that an extra 15 minutes where we're going to ask either really cringy personal questions to each other, or we read out really weird world news stories. And for example, one of today's weird news stories is about how sorry. I can't read the sentence seriously. How pole dancers are destroying public property in New Zealand, costing the government thousands of dollars. So if you want to hear more about these like destructive pole dancers, along with other weird news, to sign up to be a cult member is in the show notes. And eventually I'll have merch for you, specific cult member merch. So all the money for the merch really goes right back into the podcast and helps me with these editing programs. So I really want to thank the members I have, and thank y'all as like a community, because we have over 25 countries listening, which is really weird. Like, I think that's
crazy.
cool, but kind of crazy. It's like a lot of
Someone
people.
in Romania.
So I'm like, they love me over there.
Trying to shut you down.
Hey, whether I have a hate community or a love community, I have over 25 countries listening, which is cool. But if ever you want to send some love, or if you ever like, hey, I want to come on your show and talk about a country, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at culturecultshow, or email me at culturecultshow@gmail.com. But okay, just had to give some business corner, but back to the show. Super glad you came on today, Emma. Yeah, so much fun. I have no idea what we talked about.
I'm not even kidding. I've had a brain fog for like 4 months. Like, I'm not going to remember this.
For me either. I have no idea what we just talked about. But just to close up, if you're a Cult member, stick around for the post-episode talk with Emma. But otherwise, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. And cheers. See y'all next time.
Bye.